I am here. This is X35 Earthwalker, the one true Earthwalker, the legendary Eternal Soldier himself, and welcome back to another awesome podcast episode. I was about to say live stream. No, the live stream is tomorrow, y'all. I'll be there. But yes, we got another podcast episode. You've seen the title. Do not be deceived. This is not clickbait. I'm going to be talking about 7 of the best games ever made. Now, they're not going to be in order of ranking them because I'm doing this in a very special way. I'm doing this in a very realistic way, a logical way. There are so many games, and there are, of course, across different genres. You can't straight up outright say, well, this one is better than that one. You have to compare them games based on certain like factors and stuff like that. So I'm not going to put these games in a specific order to say this is number 1 and that's number 7. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about 7 of them. And you'll see why as I go through each of the games. The whys will figure it out. The rest of y'all, I'll explain to y'all later. And just talk about them. I've played them all. I've enjoyed them all. And I can just guarantee all of them are just that darn good. And, we can always get into what makes games really, really great and factors. But, again, you'll see more as I go over this list. And to start off this list, I'm going in for a real banger right here. Number 1, Halo Infinite. Yeah, that's right. Halo Infinite is one of the best games ever made, without question. And yes, I have debated and talked about some of these with people. And yes, as someone who debates online and does apologetics and polemics, I'm still undefeated. Halo Infinite is there, and people have not been able to prove otherwise. Halo Infinite is one of the best ever made. I think right now, as it stands, it is the best first-person shooter game out there. Yes, I put it above Doom Eternal, 100%, 100%. And when you look at it, Halo Infinite just has pretty much everything. I obviously have given my critiques about it and stuff. You can see my work and things that pop up online, my reviews and stuff. But it pretty much has everything. Especially if you're a Halo fan. And we can just quickly go through it. First thing says, right off the rip, there's the campaign. I think Halo Infinite has the best campaign of all the Halo games. My second favorite campaign, of course, is Halo 2. But Halo Infinite's campaign is amazing. It just gives you straight into the action. You're not playing as someone else for most of the game like they did in Halo 5 Guardians. I still like the Halo 5 Guardians campaign, but it has some multiple weak spots that puts it low down the list for me for campaign only. Halo 5 Guardians is still an amazing game, but Infinite, the campaign is to play as Master Chief, boxing with some aliens. It's, traveling across this large map, lots to find, calling vehicles, rolling with a tank. Then you've got, you're in the air, you're flying, and I think it's with, is it the Hornet? No, it's a Wasp. Yeah, I think it's a Wasp. Yeah, you're using a Wasp and you're flying around. You find some of these items, these collectibles. There's even a few Easter eggs we discover. I put up 2 of them. I put 2 of the Easter eggs that I found up on my channel. So if you go to the YouTube or BitChute channel, you should be able to find it. It was very cool to find. One of them, you go to the certain spot, or certain height, I should say, and it even plays the Halo theme. You hear the song we all remember for Halo 1 with the choir singing that theme song in the start menu, which is always so iconic for all of us who've been playing. Lovely stuff like that. So there's a lot to hunt and doing campaign. You're up against some awesome bosses. You got Eshkarim, who is an excellent boss. I like his style. I like his attitude. He's an enemy that you could actually respect. And Master Chief even showed respect towards him as well. Seeing him as similar to him, but he's just another soldier fighting for what he believes was right. That's it. Because the brutes are fighting for their home, because remember, their planet got destroyed by Cortana, and they don't have a home right now. So they want the Zeta ring, I think it's Zeta Halo ring, whatever one, to be, because there's other Halo rings, you see that Halo Wars and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to be their home. So they're fighting off intruders, and they said, no, this is our home, go get something else. But we know the danger of these rings and stuff like that. Maybe they don't know, but then the Eshkarim is not the real big bad boss. The real big bad boss is Atriox. And Atriox is so far an awesome Halo villain. One of my favorite Halo characters right now. Not because he boxed with Master Chief. I mean, he did beat Master Chief in that, but he did come out of nowhere to surprise him. And he did beat all of Spartan Red Team. So Jerome Douglas and them by himself, which was crazy. The animation of Halo is crazy. Halo's so good. And it was just the fact that we didn't defeat him in Halo Infinite, I think it's a good move, because he's too good of a villain to have him be one and done in a single game. Aatrox is the big boss. Just how Master Chief is him, Aatrox is also him on that side. He's a hero for the brutes. He's done the impossible, and he's so good. He got elites following him. Everybody else, And Escrow has one of the coldest lines ever, talking about, I found the best assassins, I found the best mercenaries, I found the best killers. I gathered them all, and I taught them how to be better. And I was like, oh, no villain has a line like that. I'm not gonna lie, that line is so good. I'm not gonna lie, I stole it. Exposed. Hashtag Earthwalker exposed. Yeah, I stole it. I stole it from Escarum. I'm not gonna lie. That line was so clean. Yeah, I mean, no. And Aatrox is his boss. So, bro, chill the frick out. That's amazing. And that's just the campaign. There's tons of doing it. It's open worlds, explore. And it explores the, like, some of the, it follows the path of exploring a bit of Master Chief's humanity, which of course was stripped from him. If you know John's story, kidnapped as a child, basically. Parents think he's dead, so they're not looking for him. They went to his funeral and everything. Beaten, abused, into forced to be submit to the authorities in the United States. So they become soldiers, child soldiers, unscripted military personnel. So they're, even their maximum rank is capped. Like, Master Chief can't go higher than Master Chief Petty Officer. He can't go any higher than that. He's stuck at it. He will never be general because he's an unscripted military personnel. He didn't join willingly, sign up and all that stuff. He was kidnapped by a special program. He's never been to a prom. He's never been to the prom. He's never had a first kiss. He's never been on a date. He's never gone to the cinemas with his lads. He never got to go home and play Halo with the boys. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Right? He couldn't do any of that stuff. It was just a soldier from child, soldier to now. And that's why he acts like a machine. And even Cortana told him off and said, hey, you see that sun right there? I can give you a million different reasons why that sun is not real, but I just can, basically, I can appreciate how it looks. It's beautiful. Sucker, you're the human. You're acting like it doesn't matter. And he said, promise me that at the end of this, you will figure out which one of us is the machine. Right? And that's when Commander Lasky repeated that line to him, like, we're not machines. We're men. Master Chief looked forward and Cortana's words flashed in his head. It's something that he never had, his humanity. So he explored it a bit more with Fernandez, the pilot. And there's so much more to say. I gotta go into other games, obviously. It's just amazing what they did with Halo. That's just the campaign. Then if you go into freaking multiplayer, dear gosh, notice it the smoothest Halo's ever been. There's so many modes. Like currently right now with the event, there's a 1v1 showdown mode. So you can go in there and like 1v1 me, bro. The toxic Xbox days. There's a snowball fight, throwing plasma grenades, stick people. And yes, a few modes are in third person mode, and the rest of them, of course, are first person mode. So it's a choice. If you don't like third person, you say it's not Halo, well, stop complaining like a miserable git. Just play the first person modes then. Right? Simple. Quick play, just jump in and get some matches going 4v4. Big team battle, arena objective, firefight, normal difficulty, squad battle, which is like, is it? No, that's bigger than that. That's like 8v8, I think. There's Delta Arena, so old school Halo moves, like you can't clamber, there's no sprint, your jump height has been adjusted, stuff like that. So if you're old school, it's right there. Infection, yeah. Rumble Pit, it's free for all basically, and it's difficult. Objectives could straight up be Slayer, team doubles, ranked arena, ranked Slayer, the ranked modes, like ranked doubles, ranked tactical. There's the firefight for heroic and firefight for legendary, which moves on to my other point, which is there's a campaign, yes, but there's also PvP, of course, but there's PvE stuff as well. So if you don't want to get into the sweats and go up against some PC hackers and stuff, you can literally just play and have a good time by yourself. If you want to warm up and you want some practice, unlike things like Crossfire X, which I did enjoy. I did enjoy Crossfire X. And even Call of Duty, Halo has a proper training mode. Like proper. They take it further. It's not just a shooting range. You got a tutorial where you go through the basics if you're new to the game. Then there's weapon drills where you can literally just practice with these weapons and get better to understand how all of them work, like the Hydra. Some people to this day, multiplayer match, even though this game is some years old, still don't know how to use the Hydra properly. Jump into weapon drills and learn, sucker. And then there's training mode, where you actually go into matches, but against AI bots, and you can just practice, like you warming up, waiting for the lads and the ladies to come join you in the match. You go into training mode, tweak some settings, and just practice your shots, headshots. It's literally full on. You have no excuse to be bad at Halo Infinite. They gave you the literal tools to get better. You've got tutorial, a firing range basically, with some little challenges to it, and then straight up training mode. You go into the maps you were playing as normal and just shoot and practice and get in there and make some adjustments. And they give you all of that. They equipped you. And that's in the academy. Then there's the custom games, where just like with our previous Halo games, you can go into the browser to see what other people in the community has made, what games and stuff have they have built. And what I do like, which the developers show they're part of the community, Halo Studios, formerly known as 343 Industries. Some of the maps and modes that people have made has been entered in as official playlists, like into the game, and you can like try the maps. Like last time I was streaming Halo Infinite on Twitch, there was literally a map that someone in the community made, and it showed it there in the text. It showed credit to this person who made it, which is very nice. It's nice when you get recognized and your work was good enough that they put it in there. So you can even find online stuff, make your own custom, and it's just so many options. And then you put the settings to it, create your own match, and then probably the best thing of all, Forge Mode! Forge Mode, build your own stuff. If you know anything about Forge Mode, you know how crazy Forge Mode was in Halo 5 Guardians, which was the best it was. I even made racing tracks, guys. Racing tracks. We made Halo into a racing game, and there are people looking at videos online. They made even more complex and bigger racing tracks than I made. I just made my one for fun and stuff like that. Grav lifts, launch you and your mongoose to the other side, and you fell off the edge, you blew up, respawn, and brings back in with your vehicle, and you kept on driving. It's like we turned it into a racing game, and I tested it with like a few buddies. But if you go online, people have made parkour maps, like this is freaking Minecraft. Someone even made Pac-Man in Forge World. I'm going to be talking the most about Halo because it has so much expansive stuff. Someone literally made Pac-Man in Halo. Like, the ghost, I think, had hammers chasing after him, or swords. And the Pac-Man player was defenseless, like Pac-Man. But as soon as you get, like, the super Pac dot pellets, the ghosts lose their hammers, or something like that. I think they lose their hammers or swords. I can't remember which weapon, their melee weapon they had. And a Pac-Man player then gets a sword or a hammer, and he can chase down the ghosts to try and kill them. How Pac-Man can now eat the ghosts and send them back to the starting point. So literally through Forge, they made Pac-Man. So it's Halo's arcade game, and it's also a racing game. Talk about multi-genre nonsense, right? And that was in Halo 5! And Halo Infinite is even more detailed, it's even more crazy, it's more technical, it's more specific. You can do more in Infinite Forge than you could do in Halo 5 Guardian, and you can make racing games and Pac-Man in Halo 5. Look online on what people have done with Halo Infinite. This is crazy. This is crazy. And of course, Halo and Xbox always leading the gaming industry, always ahead of PlayStation and Nintendo and everything else, even supplying PC. Like how they did with Xbox Live, what they did with Halo, and like, you know, revolutionizing some multiplayer stuff like that. They keep on leading Halo, Xbox with its ecosystem, Xbox Game Pass, and the cloud gaming stuff. But Halo now with its battle passes, is it referred to as battle passes? Let me go into this right now. Well, actually, they're called operations, I think. Yeah, so if I now go to the switcher, I see all the previous operations. So it's basically like battle passes, but they don't expire. They're all still there. So right now I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, dear gosh, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I see 18 seasons and operations. Let's call them battle passes. You're basically fighting for them. And they're all still here. So at any time, I can switch to any of the past ones. But like, you know, I like the stuff in there. Let me go for Tenrai 4. Let me go for Anvil. Let me go for Banished Honor. Let me go for the Yappening 2. Cyber Showdown. Spirit of Fire. Winter Contingency Free. Combined Arms. The Reckoning with the Flood. Like, all these things that I can just go back and get them. And other games now are slowly catching on once again, following the leaders in the gaming industry, Xbox and Halo. And they're starting to put in, hey, battle passes don't disappear now. You can just keep them there. So I've got some battle passes in my backlog I haven't even touched. Like, I haven't even touched Halloween. And there's another one I didn't touch at all. Yeah. I didn't touch Reckoning. I was interested in the Flood stuff at the time. I come 100% in Lone Wolves though. And it's like, so you have lots to always work it towards and grinding. And as they keep on releasing like lots of content out and stuff like that, there's always more to go for. So you're never really done in Halo Infinite. And they added a new currency, the Spartan points, so you can go to that shop, trade those points in. There's another way of getting extra items and stuff like that. So if you're really diving in full in like Halo Infinite, there's tons to do. So when you look at it logically and compare it, Halo Infinite is one of the best games they made because it has everything. The campaign, massive, big, multiplayer, tons of modes, PvP, PvE, stuff like that, Solo Academy, solo, training, get your game up, custom games, other people's work, make things on lands, jump in there, Forge, build your stuff, try other people's stuff as well, might make it into an official playlist. You can see right there what's going on. And then the customize is the best Halo's ever been. At launch, it wasn't good. We know that. At launch, it wasn't good. But now, different game. You go into the armor hall, you got multiple stands, and just the presentation of everything. Like, you look like you're standing like a loading bay. I'm looking at the different armor pieces I've got right here, and it's all here. There's a lot. Oh gosh, that doesn't actually more than I thought. I didn't remember it was this much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's like 9 designs I can basically have here based off of different armor cores. And you can just go in there and you got armor kits, which is like fresh out the box. You got then you can do the armor coating, do your helmet, the visor, then it's like the chest pieces, shoulder pads, then it's like the gloves, and then it's like things for the wrist, there's like utility, there's knee pads, and then there's things like armor effects, and then there's like the mythic effects that you can get in there as well. And if you go into each of those, there's a bunch. Now, of course, a number of them you're gonna have to buy, and that makes sense. Microtransactions, you have to. These games are expensive. If you got the money, you can buy it. Don't be one of those people just complain about microtransactions for the sake of it. Like it's just how it is in real life. If you got the money, you can buy certain things and do certain stuff at will. If you don't got it, like most people don't, which is the state of this world, there's a lot of people who are struggling. Things are tough. Even in those wealthy places like London, there are a lot of people who are poor and having it rough, tough, suffering even. It's horrible stuff. But don't get mad at like other people for that. You know, if they got the money, they can just buy this. If you don't have it, you don't have it. But speak the right words. Be confident. Say, you know what? One day I will have it. Go for it. And when you've got the money, you can just buy what you want. Some of this stuff look absolutely crazy. Ugh. If I go for all those customization, this will be too long. I'm already spending way too long on just one game. This is like, feel free to skip ahead if you need to. I'm just sorry, guys. It's so wild. And then there's like the weapons bench. You can look over your different guns and the different like designs for them, skins, colors. You can even get models. Like for example, I've seen a model where it even changes the entire look of the gun. There's a model for like the MK50 Sidekick, which I like the what's it called? That brute that I used to know. What's the name of it? That brute gun is a brute but fires like explosive shots. It was in Halo 2 as well. It was called the brute shot. It might be the brute shot, and it fired explosive rounds. They had like a big blade at the back of it for like swinging. There is actually a model. If you buy it, it attaches a blade to the front of like your sidekick pistol. And it looks like a mini axe in your hand, and you can just like chop. It's actually crazy. And then you got your Spartan just standing there leaning over this virtual like display, and he's seeing like the weapons right here in the design. They can do the customization for vehicle bay. They can like change your AI. For example, I have the Iritus AI. Just look at it yourself. The details on it, the beautiful like etching, what they've done on the weapons, is top tier. The only other ones that come nearer to it, it would be things like Starfield and Redfall. They've done great presentations of those kind of guns and weapons and stuff like that. And if you just sit there and customize screen, it's giving you slideshows pretty much like of the different designs you've made. So much work has gone into this game. Halo Infinite, without a doubt, is one of the best games ever made. And it's easily the best Halo game. And easily the best first-person shooter right now. Right now. Without a doubt. Halo Infinite, one thing I really wish they would change, make crossplay optional. Make it optional. Do not force people to play with PC players. Just don't. No, thank you. But yeah, that is Halo Infinite. Let's move on to the second one. I spent so long on Halo Infinite, and I didn't even say everything that Halo Infinite has. I did not. I had to quickly cut some things out, especially when it comes to the customized stuff. Don't play with me. All right, number 2. Forza Horizon 5. Now I know the shallow gamers, the ones who think very simple, they'll be like, wait, what a minute, racing game? This is what I'm talking about. There is discrimination in gaming genres. For real, there is. Like, people do this all the time. They never consider a racing game for Game of the Year. It's got its own little category, Racing Game of the Year. Take your little reward and go. Right? No. These are all games. And the work that goes into, like, racing games, like, of that caliber, like Forza Horizon 5, again, if you're not a developer, you haven't looked into it, then you don't know. You're speaking from ignorance. These games take a ton of work. Forza Horizon 5 is without a doubt the best racing game right now, the best realistic racing game, because there's different categories. If you look at that fictional cartoon racing games, there's like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and then there's things like Mario Kart and stuff like that. That's a different category, so they aim for different things, right? Forza Horizon 5 is just absolutely beautiful. It's got just the intro music, and it was just showing the sightings and viewings, the environment of Mexico. I'm not gonna lie, Forza Horizon 5 put Mexico on the map for me. I'm not gonna lie, I was not messing with Mexico at all until Forza Horizon 5, and I was like, yo, this is in Mexico? This don't look like no dang Mexico. I looked some more research, and I was like, sucker, this is Mexico. I was like, okay, Mexico, I kind of see y'all. Do something about your cartels, but I see y'all. And it was just like The cars look deliciously good. The variety of the cars, the speed, and then you got the realism of the handling. These cars are better on this track. You should do street races like through the city. Use these cars. You're going across the dirt. Use that. And it's just like the open world. You can travel here, travel there. Different types of races, different type of challenges. Then you can do things like stunts, jump off of a ramp, get that air time. And then it shows you that if you're especially live, it shows you oh, you're first place, your friend got the second best score, this friend got the third best score, or you're in third, these are the two. And you think, man, they got a high jump than me, so maybe they had a faster vehicle, or was it the angle? And then you can see the other drivers who are going around, but they're intangible. So you don't crash into them, you go through them, and you can just jump into races on at will. And then of course the updates that Forza Horizon 5 has had, where you got the Hot Wheels tracks and stuff where you're going across those tracks, and it's just woo, talk about the view. Look it up. Forza Horizon 5 and look at the Hot Wheels stuff. That's all I'm telling you. Look it up for yourself. And it's just been a lovely experience. I truly liked it. I always do like the whole rewind feature. You drive it, oh no, I smashed into a tree. I just hold down Y, rewind, be a little bit kind with it, and I'm back. And now this time, I missed the tree. Funny how timelines work, right? And it's far better than Gran Turismo. It is. I mean, Gran Turismo, still looks good and stuff, but people have analyzed them. It's without a doubt. It's not even close. Forza Horizon 5 is above everything else. It's king right now. And then there's talks about Forza Horizon 6 and stuff like that. But seriously, it's a beautiful game. It's an amazing racing game. It's chill. It is relaxed. If you just want to relax and just go for your Sunday drive, you can. You want to zoom out motorway, dodge vehicles, and keep that speed going, you can. You want to... Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. And the environments, the waters, the different parts, going for that city area, it mixes it up. I really, truly enjoyed Forza Horizon 5. It is an absolute amazing racing game, and it's just sorry, once again, so far some of the best games of all time so far, Xbox games, but that's amazing. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there is more I can say about Forza Horizon 5, but let's not take too long for the sake of how much I even said on Halo Infinite. But you don't discriminate against the game just because it's a racing game. Now, racing may not be your genre. It's not about... Talk about whether a game is good or not. I already discussed this. Whether a game is good or not has nothing to do with your personal preference. Even if you don't care about racing games, you therefore can't just say, oh, this racing game, yeah, they suck, it's just racing games. No. Is it good as a racing game? How good is Forza Horizon 5 as a car, racing, you want to call it simulation, whatever you want to call it? How does it look? Its details? And then the customization you can get on it. Some things that's in there. You have to dive in a bit more. I'm not going to go in there if I don't want to go too long. But Forza Horizon 5, it shows you what racing can really be about. And I'm not even going to get into the things like the balancing against AI cars and stuff like that, how you can race against them and the adjustments for the kind of vehicles that you have, and it shows you so you never get outclassed. You're getting so into when you jump into those races and stuff like that. Collect the credits, use that, open this, new zone, follow that through. Then you got that sandstorm I remember was driving through. Then I had that suitable vehicle. Oh yeah, sorry guys, sorry y'all. They got the jungle. They had those sites looking like you entered Bolivia, stuff like that. Looking at the nah, sorry, can't do it. Forza Horizon 5 is one of the best games ever made because it is so darn good at what it's trying to achieve as a driving, racing, and that kind of area. So I'll give it a Forza Horizon 5. And that was number 2. On to number 3. Now this one's going to be very familiar. I mean, a lot of people are going to expect this one. Number 3. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is definitely... If you're going to do a top 10, top 5 best game, I think Elden Ring has to be in there. If it's not in there, your list by default is automatic cap. Elden Ring is just so good. And I don't care for... Dark Souls 3, and I definitely don't care for Bloodborne. Get Bloodborne out of here. I think it's one of the most overrated games ever, bro. It's up there with Red Dead Redemption 2 for most overrated games ever. No thank you. Right? Skip. Right? Elden Ring is just that darn good. Not only, popularity aside, Elden Ring, let's say, at one point took over the internet. Right? Temporarily. Everyone was on Elden Ring. Everyone was streaming Elden Ring. People even use Elden Ring as a way to test if someone was a true gamer or not. oh, you a streamer? You ain't a gamer. Did you beat Elden Ring? That was literally the question. It wasn't, do you even lift, bro? It was literally, did you beat Elden Ring? Oh, don't talk to me. Come back and talk to me when you beat Elden Ring. Those were the kind of conversations that were going around. And Elden Ring was successful. It was just that darn good. I have loads of hours in that game, and it was such a massive event. Like, if you want to talk about massive adventures, games like Power World pop up and stuff like that. But Elden Ring is one of them. And Elden Ring has multiple jaw-dropping moments. We all remember the first time we finished the tutorial area, we rose up, we opened up that door, the light came through, burning your eyes because you was in darkness, and it's like Limgrave. And you saw this wide open world. You saw castle in the distance. You didn't know it was Stormvale, but it was a castle in the distance, the vegetation, and then there's, what is that, hanging bodies over there? Did they get crucified? What's going on? Like, man, was I down here this whole time? Things were happening. I'm not even going to talk about the intro where that dramatic voice there talking about the deathbed companion, the ever-brilliant gold mask, and Circadian offspring, they all knowing. And as the video's like, the music's like drawn up in volume, you're thinking, okay, boy, calm down. And then it's like, and another one of no renown. And it's like, oh, that bum is me. Okay, pick your bummy self up. Like, that was a very good intro. They started listing them off, and yeah, but you enter the Limgrave, and you got some sucker talk about your maiden list and whatever that means. That turned into a meme. And then, like, explore a little bit, and then you see this big dude on this massive horse in golden armor, the Sentinel. And you don't know who he is, but you see a health bar, and you're like, oh, do I? Now, they're daring or maybe foolish. We're like, hey, buddy, just coming to say hi. You go forward, and then boss fight, and then it's a bang out. And yes, you got owned. You got your cheeks spreaded. It's what happened, right? And then there's two things that happen. You got the weak, softy players, ran away, let me go get my own horse, magic, stronger weapons, come back. And then you got the real ones who said, no, we're not leaving until we win. We know we can come back later as open world, but we ain't leaving until we win. I don't care if it's 50 deaths. It's 50 deaths in a dream. We stayed. And I know a number of you did do that. But in terms of the ones on video that I've seen, the ones on video, the three that's done it was me, of course. You can see my battle with the Tree Sentinel. Markiplier, he stayed and fight with that thing until he won as well. Respect to Markiplier. And third, DSP, Darkside Phil. He stayed and fought until he beat it. I was like, I'm sorry, Corey Sketch. Sorry to do it to you. People like Corey Sketch, they ran away, got a horse, and came back later for an easy fight. Like, nah, bro. Like, we stayed. We stayed. And we fought. Call us fools if you want, but we know. I mean, that's come on. That's what From Software games gonna be like. You fight a boss, he whips you 40 times, and you learn and you beat him. That's just how it is. Of course, it didn't take me 50. What? How many attempts did I take to beat him? I think I was 14 attempts or 15, something like that. I died too many times against that guy. I hated that. I wish I beat him sooner because I was figuring him out. And then when you execute, you execute error on your part. You timed it wrong. It's not the game. I timed it wrong. That was amazing. And okay, continuing. And then other jaw-dropping moments is when you got inside that well, and there was a lift, and it went down. And it keeps going down. And it keeps going down. I was like, dude, where are you taking me? To hell? What's going on? This keeps going down. And you keep going down, and then you see a night sky and beautiful stars and some spectral figures. And then you're like, where? Am I outside again? I was like, but I can't be. I went down. And I was like, I look at it, it's got a sky and stars and everything. Buildings, the architecture is different. And like, ooh, that moments like that, players' jaws dropped. You can't get mad at someone put Elden Ring in the best games ever made. I'm sorry. I've even seen fighting game players who only play fighting games, tried Elden Ring, and they say, yeah, Elden Ring's in there, bro. Like, come on. I've been talking to people. I've seen videos as well. Elden Ring is that game. You cannot deny that. You can get mad at Forza Horizon 5 and Halo if you want, Xbox tax, whatever. But you can't say nothing about Elden Ring. Elden Ring's amazing. The different environments. You want the Scarlet Rot pools? We got those. You want swamp with poisonous liquids? We got those. You want mountains? You want lava? You want You want the planes, underground, everything. It's got the environments, it's got the worlds, and on top of all of that, the lore. Look up Elden Ring lore videos. Like most players, and again, people get offended when I say this, but I mean this not with respect. It's just your style. I call them shallow gamers. Oh, we're offended. Click up the video. Go ahead, you cowards. Disappoint your parents. No, but it's just like shallow gamers. Like you're not here because you care about reading the text and lore. I've seen people do that in other games, like Redfall and other places. Like, oh, here's a text. Yeah, skip. Don't care. Just jump right in. Right? People like Dash have done that. They're reading this dialogue. If the intro lasts a little bit longer than a minute, it's like, okay, skip. When I get to play, I just want to play. Let me just jump in. They don't care about any of that. They just, well, here's my sword, here's my shield. Is that a dragon? Let me slice his head. That's all they care about. And you will get action in this game. Action RPG. You will get action. And action is there, and that's the play. But you got some people who read the text, who love the story, who want to know more. They want to know about Malaclef, the Black Blade. Who is this guy? What did he used to do? They found out his connections with I forgot her name. Like Queen Marika. You find out about Queen Marika. Then you find out about Marika and the statue. You learn the truth about Radagon. And then you find out stuff about Godfrey. Then you're learning about Melania, Mikola, Morgoth, Margit the Fell, Omen. And you're just like literally learning and piecing things together. And if you go to lore videos, there's hour-plus long lore videos talking about sometimes a complete individual character. And there's so much information. And if you look at the marking on the bridge in the area, it's going up to where that it's basically like Malaclef, but like, you know, he's cloaked up. He's got the bag of potato sack on him, so you don't know it's Malaclef, but he looks like obviously like a giant beast. And instead of you bestial magic and stuff like that, when you turn in those death things that you get from certain dead things that you kill, can't remember what it's called. If you look at the markings on the bridge, you see the pattern. When you go to that floating, surrounded by like whirlwinds, hurricanes, dragons flying around, that flying area, you look at some of the patterns, it matches. That area got broke apart from that place in the ground and went up into the air. And you learn that if you're paying attention to the details. And when you read the lore on information on the weapons, you pick some things up. It's honestly so lore deep and rich. Like, no. If you just want to just hit things, action, fight a boss, yeah, beat it, you've got that there in spades. 150 bosses plus and all that kind of stuff, you've got that. But if you look at the lore and how deep the game actually is, do not underestimate the freaking lore. And then replayability, because you can play this game in so many different ways. If you want to play hard mode, strength build, then there's a I forgot what it's called. The agility build. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, the agility build, faster rolling, dodging, and then there's like the magic build where you hit them with the sorcery and maybe some incantations, and then you can combine things like strength plus faith, which is what I did. I was strength plus faith. I was originally all strength at first, but I did not do that stupid brain dead mode where you just jump with 2 heavy weapons. Oh, heavy slam, jump, heavy attack, jump, heavy attack. That's okay. If you ain't got no skill, no brains, go play that. Right? I wanted to play dodge, box them, block, parry, you know, the skillful stuff. And then I went afterwards for strength and faith because the strength build wasn't as fun. The faith stuff had some cool things. I was like, okay, let me respec, get some faith in there. Yeah, now this is me. This is me. And I use all kinds of things. It was fun. And you can play how you want to play. There's so many different builds you can do. Look online. There's like so many different builds, from the poison to the gases to a sparking fire from your hand that's like lighting a lighter, like, you know, the explosion from there, dark flames, the black flames, permanent damage to the health, daggers, swords, heavy swords, a pizza cutter, you know, spamming sorceries, blasts, invisible ones, like a beam shooting almost like a Kamehameha, dropping constant meteors from the sky to one-shot bosses, jumping in the air, forming a moon and sending at the enemy. Or you could be like Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins and form a sun in your hands and then send that slow-moving sun towards the enemy, explode, burn the ground, set them on fire, damage over time. It's crazy what you can do. Don't underestimate it. Check for yourself. It's just like they give you so much freedom, so much to do. And then there's like counters. This is more effective against this kind of enemy, or this enemy has some kind of resistance. Then you explore in this city. Then you find a giant like red lightning dragon lances. You drive that into the ground, and there's AOE. And yeah, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Elden Ring is just that darn good. It just is. Elden Ring is absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it. Took a break from a while, came back, beat the whole thing. I dealt with the Elden Beast. I became the Elden Lord. And then, of course, you had the DLC that comes. And then we got another Elden Ring project that's looking like a Monster Hunter style. Let's work together and take down these beasts. And it's like, the universe does make sense. The Elden Ring universe does make sense for that kind of stuff as well. And it's just, yeah. I mean, if you play Elden Ring, I'm sure you'll understand. I know there's no easy mode, but there's lots of things there that help you. Like, if the game's too hard, you can do a mage build and battle enemies from a distance. That is generally way easier. And, like, blast them to death. You can summon in spirits to help you out as well. Spirits does not make you weak. That's still fun. I've used spirits as well. And it's like, there's multiple things you could do that can actually help you out in these fights. Even call it help if you need to. And there's, like, some multiplayer aspect to it, or co-op aspect to it as well. And even, of course, the PvP stuff going on. So, yeah, that's Elden Ring. Absolutely awesome. All right. Number 4, and this is going to be an absolute shocker. Final Fantasy 15. Woo! Oh, you thought I was going to say Rebirth or something like that? Nah, y'all could have that. No. 15! I will stand on 15, bro. Final Fantasy 15 at one point was the game I had the most hours in. That was before Elden Ring. That was before some other stuff I mentioned. Final Fantasy 15, if you want a crazy adventure, look at this game. Now, maybe at launch, some people's performance on their devices weren't so great. I didn't have any issues, again, on the Xbox, but whatever, right? I just had a blast. The adventure, the world, the scale. Just, there's so much to say. I'm controlling myself right now, guys, because I could go overboard. I could talk more about this game than I can about Halo Infinite. I would actually make this thing freaking long. And I don't want to make it too long, but I feel like people need to understand why this game is just so awesome. Not only is it like the ultimate, like bro, like adventure road trip with your lads kind of thing. It was just a mystical adventure regardless. It was just, I'm talking over myself. Okay, let's do it bit by bit. First of all, yeah, it was just such an amazing adventure. No game has ever had me have like a bond with the characters like with Final Fantasy 15. You would have spent hundreds of hours sometimes with Gladio, Ignis, Prompto. You cared about them. If you guys seen my post I've made about this game before, you know how I felt about Ignis. The moment he became blind and stuff like that. That actually hurt me. A fictional character. It actually hurt. And I was caring for Ignis, and he adapted to it, he got better, and he became even more sharp and stuff like that. Boxing while blind, it was so epic. Ignis is a real dog for that one. Ignis is the homie. If I was Noctis, I would have gave that man a hug, bro. I don't care if that's kingly behavior or not. I would have gave that man a real bro hug, bro. Nah. Don't you mess with my boy Ignis. That crab came there and boom, I bust that crab up. You don't touch my boy. But anywho, this stuff is going on there. And it was like, you do so much from the exploring to fishing. The fishing itself was its own game. There was mechanics to the fishing, RPG elements to the fishing rods, certain buffs, the things you get. It was a real battle. Some of those fish, especially that long one that looked like a violet carnivore fish, that fish can go screw itself, by the way. Damaging your fishing line unreasonably fast. Like, it was legit a battle. Like, they had no business making it that hard. But I conquered it all. I'm more than a conqueror. Thank you, Christ Jesus. Nothing beats me. Then you've got the chocobo activities. You got the chocobo racing, the chocobo like courses, and then you get those attachments and awards for your chocobos, so they can be proud and display those like medals and those things on it. And speaking of the chocobo itself, did you know if you get the chocobo to max stats, and then you give it like the Gayashi greens, like the good food that boosts like its speed and everything, the chocobo at that speed is actually faster than your car. It's faster than the Regalia. That's bonkers. If you want top speed, it's the bird. It's the oversized chicken. Hop on that chicken, feed them good, and go. And then the Regalia, you got the regular Regalia, which only can stick to the road. Then you got Regalia, I think type D, which becomes like a monster truck, which can jump, go over the edge, off-road driving, go up a mountainside, leap off, get that airtime, slow motion, everyone posing for the picture. Oh, that's so epic. They added those things in there. And then there's, I think Regalia type, I think it's F, where it becomes a literal flying car. An actual flying car. Now, I don't know about y'all. I am not going to let somebody I know fly that car for me and me in the backseat. The moment it starts to sprout, I jumped out. Just let me know where y'all are, and I'll come to you guys on foot. I'm getting on Chocobo. That is scary. And then you can use that to access that secret dungeon, which you can't access unless you have the flying car and you time the landing perfectly. If you crash and blow up, it counts as actual death. So make sure you save before you try something stupid. And the dungeons is in there. And the last dungeon, which is so unique and different from all the other dungeons, like a parkour. Oh, that dungeon. Yeah, go online and see for yourself. Like, that dungeon is honestly frustrating. It's hard because it's different. It's not like a combat dungeon. It's a parkour dungeon. Even Noctis is bad. If you like leave early without completing it, Ignis is like, how did you fare? And Noctis goes, fair? There's absolutely nothing fair about that place. Like Noctis is actually tilted. He's actually tilted. Like, and for dark reasons, because you're tilted as well. So you and Noctis are in the same pool, acting like children. And then the food. And I love what they did. You go to the camping and you camp out with the lads. It just looks like you want. It makes you feel like you want to join them. They're sitting there by the fire with the food, and it's just so nice. And they all just sit there. And if you go for like a soup, your characters are actually sitting there eating soup, and they're actually using spoons. If you get skewers, your characters are actually sitting there holding skewers and taking bites and talking. If you go for like a plate which is, got some rice or whatever, so you need like a fork and that kind of stuff. They're sitting there with forks. The developers did not need to go into that kind of detail. They could have been like other games that made it look generic eating scenes. They actually went into detail for that, and the food looks good when Ignis made it. And Ignis is like, I've got it. What's that, Iggy? I've got a new recipe. I can taste test for you. All of those kind of stuff. Like they're jousting like lads, like how you be with your friends, and they make fun of each other. And guys talking, if anyone's a rare, it's me. Like all this kind of stuff between them, and they're talking about a video game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Lady Luna Freya, she waited months before she can get before I found her. I was supposed to find her immediately based on the story. So many side quests, bounty hunting missions, adventures, dungeons, bosses, areas, Arden and his antics, and so much going on. I didn't get to that woman until months later. I never went to Altissia. There was just so much to do in the mainland, and Magitech troopers, and they came in, and demons at night that come for you and try to smash the regalia, the iron giants and the ones with the flaming swords, and finding these weapons, put on these new clothes, getting the drip, the different outfits have certain stat bonuses and affects you in different ways as well, whether it's more health, more MP, or something like that. Final Fantasy 15, and then you unlock the boat, and then you can ride the boat, drive the boat, go to fishing spot, then you can find the king of the sea. That was something that was added as well. Like, it just leads to so many beautiful sights. And if you go to Altissia, that is one of the most beautiful looking places in all of video game history. Altissia's entrance, the waterfall, the statues on the side, that place like a floating Venice, and it's just like, oh, it's lovely. And we get to meet Wesker. Is it Wesker or Wesker? I think it's Wesker. We got to meet Wesker as well. And if you know the lore, you know about Final Fantasy 15 and stuff like that, you know about Wesker. You know about Reginald. Your dad Reggie, as old man Sid likes to call him. You learn about that. You know about I think it's Claudius. That's Gladio's dad. How they stand side by side, and he did his duty to the end to protect the king. They found out not to his dad. He ain't no hoe. He could box for real, but of course he was getting weaker. The force field sustaining that. No birdcage, no Doflamingo Dokiante. It was just like, oh no, Final Fantasy 15 is an adventure. Final Fantasy 15 is so good. It actually made some grown men cry. I seen some ladies cry. I seen some grown dudes crying, emotional. That ending at the Arden as a villain, one of the best. Arden is just he is up there with with Caius. Caius was my favorite Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy bad guy from Final Fantasy 13, 2, the story so far. But Arden is up there. Freaking Arden's a character. He's a class act. He's something else. Man. They had the DLCs. Episode Ignis, episode Gladio, episode Prompto, episode Arden. Those are amazing. I know the extensions, they're not like the main thing, but Final Fantasy 15 is just so much is in there, so deep, so much thought out from the pictures, and it shows you the journey you've made. At the end of the game, when it's like you're looking for the pictures, you see it from the start of the game. Your first picture, and your picture has Cid's shop to repair the regalia. You meet Sydney and stuff, and you see pictures from combat, battles, Titan, Leviathan. All this leading up to where you are now, and it's like you relived that journey. They did that on purpose. That was a clever design. And the different weapons, their styles, and the heavy blade, the weight behind it, and the animations of the characters. When Gladio jumps up to swing and bring that thing down, his whole body's in the air, and he brings that down with nothing but pure force, strength, and gravity and weight. It's crazy. And then the combat, people say, oh, you just hold that one button. The people say that, they're off the lower IQ. Wrong. If you actually explore the combat, it's way deeper than that. From evasions to the timings, because it's different from how you fight with daggers, it's different from how it is with swords, which is different from a heavier blade, which is different from the guns. And then your partners are bringing their abilities to strike. Then you blindside them and hit them like from the back, no pause. You can then do a joint synchronized attack with your allies, and depending on the weapon, it affects what kind of attack you'll get, and depending on the ally, because it's not the same across your free King's Glaives, your friends, your allies who are there with you. It is different. And then you can even do certain combos or specific moves based on the timing of when you press the attack button. Then there's perfect dodges, then there's regular dodges, then there's blocks that lead into like a parry. When you go into what's it called? Royal Glaive? That full on mode where it's you just activate it, and you just like, or you activate all the royal arms are surrounding you, and then you're like in the air, you're flying, they're all attacking at the same time while you bring it in, and they can give the blades to your allies, and they all take it and take turns swinging in and smashing in on the enemy. Then you can get that combo going, you even take your turn. They get the ability from Ignis, so you all just jump in and strike the enemy. It's crazy. That combat, and if you go into True King, you activate ability, you get that thing from the statue, and it's just like your allies step aside. They leave it to you as a one-on-one. You unleash your full power, and you just go crazy. Noctis, he doesn't even need the Ring of Lucai. If Noctis just activates that Royal King's Glaive ability, and he just has all his blades all around him, he is whooping Cloud. He is whooping everybody. He's whooping everybody. That man can fly, instant transmission, strike you with the strength of 1,000... Bro. Nuke the area pretty much. Nah, Noctis is honestly crazy, and then he can just drain you until like your thin Mr. Skeleton with the Ring of Lucai. And then the summons, you call in freaking no, I'm forgetting their names. Who is it? The foul Ramu. You didn't call him Ramu the Fulgurian. He comes in. You want an actual nuke? This man destroys the whole place, burns all the trees with his one attack just to kill that one enemy you want him to deal with. Like, it's a nuke, and then he disappears. You can get Titan to come in and just do some earth-shaping nonsense. Leviathan, I never got to summon Leviathan once. I know you can. I saw a video of it online that each of like the god summons and stuff like that, the Hexaphon. I never got Leviathan. They needed to make it better so it's like easier to be able to get those different gods to come in there. But boy, oh boy. When I say destruction, I say destruction. And then when you're fighting the Infernian, Ifrit, that's it, Ifrit, the Infernian, and then Shiva, the Glacian, shows up to back you up. That was such an epic fight. I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. And oh my gosh. I know Final Fantasy 15 at launch did not have as much as what it has now, especially in the Royal Edition. But when you play it full on Royal Edition, you just play it and you go for everything in the game that's supposed to be at launch, because they had a very, very hectic, horrible development problems, bro. The fact that they brought out the statement is still amazing. When you play it at its fullness, Final Fantasy 15 is better than 16. I don't even care about the previous Final Fantasy games. I care about 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns. But 15, and I've seen the other Final Fantasy. I know what they are. I've seen them. I've seen Rebirth. I've seen 7. I've seen them. All right? I've even seen playthroughs. 15 is just king. 15 is amazing. And I'll never forget my adventures playing 15. 15 is so good. I got a gamer who doesn't even play games like that. They like to play more cutesy other games, Kirby and stuff like that. I convinced them to play 15. They tried out. It hooked them. It sucked them in. They passed 80 hours in that game. They beat it, and they ended up crying at the end. they loved it. And that's not even their kind of game. They loved it, and it's not even their kind of game. Final Fantasy 15 is just freaking goated. It is. It's freaking goated. And I'll put respect to that game's name all day long. Alright, let's move along. There's so much I can say about all these games. I gotta shorten it. Next one, this is gonna surprise people. Number 5. Yeah, number 5. Tetris Effect Connected. Now, I can already see y'all. If y'all were like, bruh, for like Forza Horizon 5, y'all definitely at this point turned off the video at Tetris Effect Connected. No, I'm serious. Tetris Effect Connected is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. And again, it's genre discrimination. You see Tetris, people automatically call it an L. They did that when Tetris Connected was announced for Xbox Series X as the exclusive. People are like, if Tetris is one of your big games, that's an L. I was like, they don't even care. They automatically saw Tetris and said it's an L. Automatic. That's the silly and foolish mentality of people. Don't write it off just because it's Tetris. Now, full disclaimer, I've spoken of this game many times. I hate Tetris. I don't care about Tetris. My family never played Tetris. We played other games about Tetris. I don't care about Tetris. Never did. Space Invaders, Pac-Man, yes. Tetris, no. I'd rather play Pong. But Tetris Effect Connected is different. That game is so darn good. I played it, made videos, streamed it, checked the stuff I put online of it. It's amazing. It's effects, it's particle effects, it's visuals, the environments that's presented before you, the controls are smooth, multiple modes and stuff you can get into, like the journey mode, which goes for all the levels, chill marathon mode, the crazy speed mode, quick mode, so you can play the levels that you want. You can even unlock the old school 1989 Tetris mode, and you can just like play that once to see what that was all about with the music and stuff. It's such a beautiful game. And if you're going to connect versus, you can take on like the enemies, which are the different zodiac signs, and you can beat them. They get into progressively harder and stronger. I hate Leo. He's that line is a problem. And gosh, it feels good to beat those zodiac signs after you hear foolish nonsense from some people online. Oh yeah, I'm like that because I'm a Cancer. You know, I'm a Pisces. It's like, oh, okay, let me just leave this table right now. Here, you can pay the bill. I'm going. Yeah, mom, you was right. That girl was crazy. She tell me about she a Cancer, she a Leo, and that's why she can't stop slapping people. Like, nah, bro, I'm done. So it was great to beat up the zodiac sign bosses for the stupid corruption they're doing to people these days. But yeah, it's just so clean. And then the music, I like the music. The music. They got music from different areas, different places, different cultures, and it works. It's so clean. You even got like a rap song as well. Then you got this like this Zen music with this instrument of a xylophone. Then you got some music which I swear, you know how you use rain ambience to put yourself to sleep? There's some music where if you just let that play and you lie in bed, I guarantee you sleep, bro. It's all kinds of music. It's all kinds of software. And then they got new music when you do the different playlists of sea, and then there's wind, and then the last one is world. I think sea has the best one in my opinion. Then it's wind, then it's world, but they're all nice. And they did such a good job. Some of this music was man, it's beautiful. They done such a great job. Even with a song that's very positive, uplifting in Balloon High, that level, that's my favorite level. And the music there is one of those inspirational, it's encouraging music. They've done such a lovely job with that game. They did an amazing job with that game. And you have to look at it in a logical way, not a foolish way. Look at it in a logical way. Tetris Effect Connected, how good is it as a Tetris game? You judge the game for what it's trying to be and what it's trying to accomplish. That's why I like it. Now you understand why I didn't put these games in order, because you have to ask yourself, because you can't compare Forza Horizon 5 to Tetris, because one's a full-on racing game with different objectives and different purpose and how well it completes that as a racing game, versus Tetris Effect Connected being a Tetris game, right? Tetris Effect Connected also has multiplayer stuff too. So you have to look at it for what it is. How good is Tetris Effect Connected as a Tetris game in modern day gaming? And that's what you judge it off of. You can't compare it to the scale of Elden Ring and Final Fantasy 15. You just can't. That's what a stupid person would do. It's incompatible. You can't do that. You have to judge it for what it is. And when you judge it for what it is, Tetris Effect Connected gets 10 out of 10s across the board. There, of course, I've already given my feedback of a few things that need to be changed, that should be changed, you know. But it is amazing. It's one of the best games ever made. Tetris Effect Connected was even being scored by some reviews to be higher than the Demon Soul remake and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, some people are like, oh my gosh, Tetris is better than Demon Souls, because they're thinking about it from that stupid, ignorant point of view where in Demon Souls, I'm fighting monsters, demons, smashing through boulders. Yeah, bro, I get it. You got your beer, you got your weight sitting next to you, but you never use. I get it, right? It's a man's game. No, judge the game for what it is. Yes, Tetris Effect Connected is a better Tetris game than Demon Souls is as an action RPG like From Software like game. It is 100%. I can find more things wrong about Demon Souls than, Tetris Effect Connected. Tetris Effect Connected is a better Tetris game than Bloodborne is a action RPG like thing going on. It is. Tetris Effect Connected is better at what it does than many other games you can just name. And I say, no, I'm keeping it real. I'm thinking on a logical level. I'm being fair to these games. I don't want to say one's got guns, it's badass, and so it's better than City Tetris. Like, no, if you think like that, then you are silly. You're ignorant. Judge the game for what it is. And that's why most of these YouTube reviews and stuff, they suck. They don't know what they're talking about. Judge the game for what it is. Be fair to the game. And when you're being fair, you realize this game is banging. And I forgot to mention this about Halo Infinite, because Tetris Effect Connect has the same thing. They have a theater mode. Why don't more games have theater modes? So jumping back to Halo Infinite as well, you can rewatch the matches you've had, and that makes recording these things for gameplay easier. You get to see what you're doing. Where did this guy come from? Oh, he was moving around the edge of the map. That's who he was the whole time. Follow the player to see how they was moving in the map. Theater mode is so good. And it's theater mode for Tetris. So if you just want to just watch the levels, appreciate the music, look at the visuals, enjoy the lights and all that kind of stuff, you can put it in theater mode, go through your favorite tracks in there, and I can literally just be the setting for the room. You're sitting there working. That Tetris Effect Connected is the setting for your room, the ambience, and it's just so beautiful. If you haven't played it, I don't want to hear it. Tetris Effect Connected is one of those games where if you haven't played it, I don't want to hear it. Don't say nothing to me. I most likely would just ignore you. It's one of those games where you have to play it. If you see what Tetris Effect Connected really got, you'll understand where I'm coming from. And I don't mind you disagreeing with me, but be fair, be honest, be logical about it. Okay, next game, number 6. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I've always said this game is one of the best games ever made. I always defend this game. And Xbox never should have put it on Nintendo. They should have just kept it as an exclusive. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is without a doubt one of the best games ever made. If I did a top 5, I had to order it, Ori's in there. I don't care what anybody says. That game is one, if not maybe the most beautiful game I've ever seen. Tetris Effect Connected is a competitor. The animations of Ori is the best I've seen in a game of that style. Even better than some of the games we see today. It's got better animations even than Fortnite. 100%. And Fortnite is an amazing game. Fortnite is one of the greatest games ever made. Greatest and best are not the same thing, but another time. And Ori's animations are on point. Ori's world and environment and changes on point. So when you get to that sea water-based level, as in the top left of the map, it really see the graphics and the beauty. You play it on an Xbox Series X, you put it into the 4K, the settings. Ooh, 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 ooh! I turned into an owl for a second. It looks so darn good. The combat's so smooth. It's so flowing. It's so epic. It's better than the first game. The Blind Forest is good. It's not as good as Ori for the Wisp, though. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, once again, Angry Joe does not know what he's talking about. Get him out of here. He lost all credibility a long time ago. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is the best. And it's just so beautiful. And the story, even though there's no talking character or dialogue really, except for the narrator, and I figured out who he was, almost, a bit more than halfway through the game. I was like, wait a minute. How are you so aware of all these events? You're telling it like a story. Are you? I think you might be. But I said, let me hold that thought for a minute. Got to the end of the game. I was right. You found out that the tree was Ori all along. And it was recalling what happened that led to the point. I've seen people cry when it's sort of conclusion of the game, what happened. People, again, like with Final Fantasy 15, it made people cry. If a game can make someone be moved to tears, that alone is a big achievement. You have to give respect for that and that alone. Combat was smooth. Strike, dodge upside, lift them up, hammer, area effects, spread, jump, shoot the blast. There was so much you can do. The action was better. The exploring was better. The environments were better. The story was better. The bosses were more crazy. And the Shriek. Even though Hal tried to kill me, seeing Hal get turned to stone and just stuck in that state and couldn't do nothing about it was sad. It was like, Hal, you did not deserve this. You were, I mean, at the end of the day, you're a wolf. You're just trying to eat. You're not by that nature evil in that sense, but you are got a malicious aura going on. But then the big boss Shriek strikes fair in everybody, bro. And then when we finally beat Shriek, gave Shriek that beating, the light that Shriek wanted back then, Shriek rejected and lashed out. And when Shriek gets beat and Shriek runs away, Shriek returned back to what Shriek remembered. Shriek had feelings too. Shriek was hurt. And it's a lesson that people are hurt, sometimes hurt other people. Shriek returned back to his home, found the frozen corpses of two adult like birds, and he just like curled up and huddled underneath their wings, like a child who just wants his mom to comfort them with a hug. And when you look at it and you understand like Shriek's past as it's revealed and stuff like that, you feel it for Shriek. It's like, Shriek, I'm willing to help you, man, but you're running away. And that's how some people are in real life today. They're hurting, but they slap away every hand extended to them. Maybe a hand that's been extended before has hurt them or let them down. And there was some feels in there for real, bro. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is just amazingly beautiful. Some of the best animations, if not the best, ever. And obviously it's a smaller scale game and stuff. It's smaller. It's not as big as like Halo Infinite, so it doesn't take as much work in that regards. But tons of work went into that. I think that was Moon Studios. I really wish they did more of Ori and the Will of the Wisp. I don't know, wanted to do their own new game and stuff like that for the King or something. I can't remember what it's called. It's something. And stuff like Deliver from Evil. What was it? They made a new game. I wanted to check that out. But Ori and the Will of the Wisp is just an adventure that'll never leave me. 100% of it. I found everything. I found the relics that gave different abilities. You know, extra jump, extra hook, this damage, trade this, more armor, more defense. You take more damage, but you deal more damage. All these different things that mixed up even how you played and stuff like that. And you got these upgrades. They upgrade these abilities, and they can set enemies on fire. And there was so like a sentry that shot enemies and stuff like that. The hammer. I'm keeping it short because I don't want to be too long because we passed an hour. But Ori and the Will of the Wisp is just an absolutely amazing, beautiful game. And it will always be one of those 10 out of 10 bangers. Now, some people will say, there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10 game. Well, no, you're wrong, dude. Some games are 10 out of 10. Ori and the Will of the Wisp are one of them. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is one of them. And it's just... Nope, another game hasn't hit or done it like Ori. And, nah, bro. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is like, look and see for yourself, especially with the higher settings, and just play that game and how you explore and find these upgrades and the sounds and the music. They done such a bang up job. Like, everything about the game is beautiful, from the story to the combat to the visuals. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, so freaking amazing. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I don't want to be too long, so let's get to number 7. Number 7, everyone's favorite game, the game of the generation, Starfield. Number 7, Starfield. I see some people right now taking off their headset. Oh man, I ain't listening to this crap. Well, I ain't listening to you and your mama. Shut up. Starfield at number 7. Starfield, yes, I think is easily one of the best games ever made. If you got some common sense, or you're not living under a rock, no Patrick Star, you would know the serious hate campaign and hate train for desperate views and everything that was done against Starfield. I made a whole podcast episode talking about it with the receipts and documenting even the attacks on Starfield. I mean, Starfield was ganged up upon by these hate wagon, dumb YouTubers who attacked it. And some of them even finally got some relevance because they hated on Starfield. Before that, people didn't even know who they were. I'm not gonna lie, they got views because they hated on Starfield. So it's YouTubers, they got, of course, the PlayStation fanboys on social media. You had the gaming media outlets, the Xbox tax ones like IGN, Kotaku, PC Gamer, all these guys, Gaming Bolt, I think it was Gaming Bolt, something like that. All these guys, all of them, all work together to dump on Starfield, and Starfield still passed 15 million players. It still won Game of the Year. It still won Xbox Game of the Year, and it still won Steam Most Innovative Game on Steam. Not only that, it was the bestseller in its month when it came out. It was the bestseller. It beat those sports football games. It beat Street Fighter 6. It beat Mortal Kombat 1. Anything else that was released September at the time, Starfield beat it. So don't worry about the sales. It beat all those games, and it was the bestseller in the month. And for the rest of the year, it was in the top 10 bestseller, especially in USA. And if you go to Steam, how it has these different rankings. Some people don't know about it. They got the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum for how well a game sold in there. Guess what Starfield was? Starfield was in platinum. Up there with Baldur's Gate 3 and Hogwarts Legacy, stuff like that. It was in platinum. So the game sold like crazy even on PC. Beating everybody else. Just being in bronze, it's been stated. Just being in bronze means your game did well. Fun fact, Dragon Age the Veilguard was in silver, so it sold well, despite what the hating media wants to say. The haters want to say that? Nope, it just sold well. Right? Starfield was in platinum. All of that. And for those of you who got confused by Game of the Year, okay, maybe if you weren't so ignorant, you'll know this. There's more than one group of awards being handed out. Just how if you're in the fighting game tournaments, it's not just Evo. There's Capcom, Combo Breaker, Red Bull Kumite, Defend the North. There's these different tournaments. If you get first place in Capcom Cup, do people say that's irrelevant, man? It wasn't Evo. No, it's still a big victory. Say something to Mena RD. He won that stuff, right? So yes, you got the rigged Jeff Keighley PlayStation Awards show. They gave out their awards. They gave Baldur's Gate 3 Game of the Year. Awesome game, right? Excellent game. Sorry, excellent game, not awesome game. Excellent game, right? But if you go to other groups, like Rectify Gaming, Game of the Year went to Starfield. So Starfield, yes, Starfield was Game of the Year in 2023. Still was. Deny all you want, haters. It did. So imagine how much more bigger Starfield would have been if it didn't have that blind, stupid, ignorant hate coming towards the game. Starfield is amazing. There are people who already passed 1,000 hours in Starfield, and they're still saying, "I'm still discovering new things." Over 1,000 hours, and still discovering new things. I got 300 hours, like past 300 hours. I'm discovering new things, and there are things I know that I gotta do. I've hopped through 11 different universes. I'm in my new game plus 12, and I maxed out my powers as a starboard. I'm like a god now. I can freeze enemies, I'm from One Piece, Age Key, Ice Admiral, right? I can create a black hole and just like lock people in there. And while they're stuck in there, I can throw a grenade in there and have it blow up while they're stuck in a trapped gravity center. I can like cancel out gravity and put zero gravity, have enemies and people float helplessly, slowly into the air. I can slow down time, and I've ran through a katana sword, cutting, slashing everyone's necks, and they're all dead. And when the time effect stops, all their bodies just drop with crimson, which is just so cool. I can just blast you with a bolt of like supernatural energy. I can hit you with this blast of heat. I forgot what it's called. I think it's solar flare. I set enemies fire and they're burning, and the more health they got, the more they're suffering. I can duplicate myself. So another version of me is fighting alongside of me. I'm never alone. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'm never alone. I can just make a call with me. I can duplicate my enemy. So a copy of my enemy is boxing my enemy. So you gotta fight yourself and me at the same time. And there's a dead creature in the water. I can raise it back up to life again. Tell me I'm not a god in Starfield. I'm even raising the dead. That's crazy. I can forcibly extract all minerals from the ground, the surrounding area, and pull it to me. Titanium, I'll take that. Oh, aluminium, I'll take that. Is that iron? I'll take that too. Thank you so much. I just rip it out of the ground. It goes right into my pockets. I can use the visions of the stars. I can see everyone as lights. So I can see through everyone through walls, wherever you are. If you're there on the second floor on the toilet seat taking a dump, I can see you sitting there, squatting down. I don't need to enter your house, but I'm spying on you. No, I'm not a creep, and there's nothing you can do about it. Police can't help you. I'll just freeze their cars. I got supernova where I explode an omnidirectional blast and just kill and damage so many things around me. I got precognition, so I can actually see the future of what people are going to say in response to the things I say to them in dialogue boxes. Starfield has so much going on. It's crazy. And that's not half of the powers. I think there's 24 in total of things you can do. I can literally even make myself completely invulnerable. Man, and there's zero gravity. I want gravity. I can use Earthbound, make myself have gravity, and I can move normally while the rest of you gotta fly. And this is crazy. And that's just the Starborn powers. There's a nice range of weapons, and the details on them. When I talked about Halo's details, where you can view the weapons and rotate them a bit, Starfield also has amazing details on the guns. The printed names, the engravings, the markings, the patterns. You can see the difference between the materials there, from the rubber on that, from the handle to the hilt part, the aiming scope right there. They have put so much detail and work into this game, and it freaking shows. And the weapons have a variety of things, from grenade launchers, blasts, some machine gun, penetrating round, and the different types, from laser weapons, ballistic weapons, particle beam weapons, which have their different advantages and stuff like that. Particle beam weapons obviously are the best. And then the new weapons they got from the expansion of Shadow Space, Varun Kai style weapons. You can even get it from an armory of Dazzler and see that for yourself. The City of Dazzler. And it's just a big adventure. The faction quests alone could just be games in of themselves. So you got the main story mission. You got constellation missions. You've got the faction missions. You got side missions. You got companion missions. And then you got the activity missions. That's like 6 different things. And then you can go for things like the bounty missions. When you go to the machines and get yourself bounties and hunt them down, or that's there as well. And then you can do like transport missions where you're like, oh, we need 200 amount of chlorine. So you can do delivery. And then you find random missions in the field by people. Like, we were mining, and this guy, the Eclipse said we had to get out of there. We had to leave him behind. I don't know if he's alive. Please go find him. And you go and find him. So like missions like that. So when people say dumb things online, like there's nothing to do in the game, no, they're just retarded. They're idiots. That's a lie. There's tons to do in the game. There's some idiots there in Steam like, I got 900 hours in this game and I don't recommend it. It's Bethesda's worst work. There's nothing to do. And I'm like, there's nothing to do, but you played 900 hours. Then what did you do for 900 hours? I just sat around, and then you are the biggest idiot. You're not equipped for a review. I don't want to hear from someone 900 hours of their life, what they spend sitting on the bench in Starfield because there's nothing to do. Is that someone you want to take advice from? No, I don't want to hear any advice, whether it's about hair, food, lifestyle. I don't want to hear nothing from you. If a game is so bad, the game doesn't even get 5 hours from me. But you put 900 hours into a game that you think is not good, not worth your time, don't recommend, and it was absolutely boring. But you played it for 900 hours. Do you see how dumb people are? It's so stupid. Like, Starfield is so good, it haunts people to this day. There are people still talking about Starfield online and comparing games to it. I'm glad Starfield's become the golden standard that people compare it to. They're still talking about it. It haunted people's dreams. People couldn't help but talk about Starfield and bash it and lie about it. And it's crazy. Starfield. And when you touch the artifact for the first time and you see the animation and you see it shows you like that universe, that point in the universe and the area around it, and you hear that sound and that music, it's crazy. And then when you enter the Unity for the first time and it keeps on zooming out and you see how small you are in this big Starfield universe. And it's bigger than the universe that you are in. It's a universe within a universe that's bigger. And you see things like storm clouds, like storms, like cosmic storms amongst like galaxies and universes. And you're like, and I'm so small we can't even see this. What is going on here? Starfield has scale and space. It doesn't matter what people say. Oh, I'll play Starfield when it's 60 frames. All right, it's 60 frames, done it. Oh, I'll play Starfield when there's vehicles. There's the Rev 8, and now there's the Daymog. There you go. I'll play Starfield, moving the goalposts, when there's like expansion and more content. All right, here you go. Varun Kai. This Varun Kai is now here. The City of Dazra. All that kind of stuff. The serpent, the worshiping it. The people of the House Varun. Here it is. Yeah, well, I'll play Starfield when it's finally a good game. It's like, yeah, you're just a freaking loser, dude. Just go get a life. Like, it's just pathetic. Starfield is massive. Starfield has tons to do. And I haven't even talked about all the stuff that's in Starfield. Like, there are skills that you can get that affects your dialogue choices and gives you more options in completing missions. For example, there's some people like, you can't even stealth. Well, maybe we put a point of skill point in stealth. You can finally sneak. Sneaking and being stealthy is a skill. Just how pickpocketing is a skill. If your character hasn't been trained in it and they got no skills in it, they can't do it. I've trained in stealth and like movement. I can sneak around things. I've even scared my friends before how stealthy I am, even appearing in rooms. Not Batman. I don't just drop with a smoke ball. No, but like silent, hiding footsteps and moving around. It's a skill. You can't just do that off rip. You just can't. And then and then you have the stealth options. And if you get pickpocketed, you can actually steal important items for people. Oh, you got a mission for me, but I need a dude, so then you hand me this card. Pickpocket. Okay, I took your card. Now I just skip your mission. Moving on. Like, you can literally just rob objectives from people. And steal their weapons even at max level. You can take their gun. How do you steal a whole shotgun from someone's back? You know what? Whatever. This is a video game. Video game logic, people. Right? And if you get negotiate skills, you get intimidate skills, you get bribe skills. You know, these options appear in your text. And if you got skills like, oh, you're animal expert, like zoology and stuff like that, there's sometimes that option is available. Just like if you beat the game, you go for New Game Plus and you're in another universe, you unlock the Starborn option for main mission quests and stuff like that if you've done them before, because it's like, you know what happens here. You've seen it, you've done it. So when it's like, I can't tell you what's going on, it's confidential, you know, the Starborn option shows, and you read it, it's like, dude, I already know there's a giant ship in the space, it's filled with people as travelers, they claim this planet is their own, and you want me to deal with it. Just get to the point. And then you select the option, the guy's like, oh, that's, what? Quite the claim you made there. He knows you're right, but he can't, because of the sake of his job, say you're right. But you know you're right because you've done this before. You're a Starborn. So it's like, let's just cut to the chase, buddy. I know what's going on here. You know, there's options. And even when I do persuasion, you get points of persuasion to make it easier for you to get them to do what you want them to do. I'm always going to win in persuasion. And not only am I maxed out in persuasion, and there's like items like aids you can take, like pills, and I think called Hippolyta or something, that improves your persuasion chance, I think, by 20%. I also have mind manipulation ability that I got even from Ryujin Industries, one of the factions. So because of that, I can literally just do mind manipulation and just make them think what I want them to agree with. So I'll be like, yeah, basically, yeah, I'm right. And he goes, you know what? You are right. I agree with your point of view. And he thinks that he actually believes that, but it's actually me making him believe that. And it's a guaranteed persuasion pass. So your abilities do matter in many ways, not just combat. Because I can use that manipulation to take control of a person's body and make them run over there, sit on the bench, use their key card, open up their door, make security leave their post, you know, that kind of runaway, and I can go in. Or you can use my mind manipulation in dialogue options in persuasion to get them to do what you want them to do. For example, in the city of Aquila, I need to make this guy leave so this girl can go there and like set up some sort of technology there so they get sensor readings about the Ashtar in the area. And yeah, 3 ways of dealing with him. You can silently kill him, but I didn't want to do that, so technically there's 4. But you go up to him and persuade him to leave, and if you win the persuasion, he leaves. 2, you can bribe him, give him some money. I think it was 1,000 credits, which if you play the game long enough, 1,000 credits is absolutely nothing. Like, my character's a millionaire now. I got over 1 million. 1,000 is nothing, literally. And if I pay him 1,000, the dialogue option was, hey, I got a hot date here, stuff like that. It's like, I want to use this spot, you know, to get lucky, you know, want it to go well. And then the guy's response, because the precognition, I can actually see his future response to that. He goes, oh, well, man. He's like, hey, man, this view is a great spot if you want to set the mood. Good luck. Like a homie wishing you luck. Yeah, you can use my place, man. Go ahead, man. Bye. And he actually would just leave. And then the third way to get him out there, because I did the 3-star Ranger faction mission, and I'm an official 3-star Ranger, I flash the badge and I go, 3-star Ranger, I need you to leave this spot immediately. And he's like, wait, what happened? All right, I'm going. And he leaves. So you have multiple ways, depending on what you do, to handle different situations. Like, Starfield is an incredibly deep game. And then we haven't even touched on the outpost building, the ship building, and everything that includes. I've designed my own ship. I called it the Space Walker. And it's amazing. Combat, particle weapons, fast engine, strong armor, shields. It's crazy, right? And people are making crazy designs. I've seen someone who made a ship that looks like Spyro. Someone made a ship that looks like a burger. Someone made a ship that looked like the Master Chief's head. All kinds of stuff. And if you go into outpost building, people have made things that put my bases to shame. I'm just right now building something that's efficient, storage space, and survival. And, you know, mine some materials, transport this to here, healing free goes over here, that supplies that, so that goes over there. That brings the iron to this place, that also brings the aluminium, put these 2 together. Now I can make adaptive frames, I can use that for the building. Now there's more storage. Now I can make this hub, now I can build this lookout tower, that's an observation tower that goes over there. It goes on, right? But that's nothing. I've seen some videos and people have literally turned outposts into what looks like factories. Like, they got their robots doing maintenance and stuff over there to improve the efficiency of that. They've got the storage crates over there, but there's output links that link to it because the supplies that's coming in goes there. That goes to that fabricated machine over there. And that is ultimately automatically converting things into adaptive frames over there, and that's powered by the switch. That isn't leading to this. This is their what's it called? That's the habitat area for their fauna, so they're getting live materials from them. And since you're getting it from them alive, you get a greater quantity of the materials that you get from there. Then you got this like greenhouse area, and that's giving you your flora materials because you're housing these things there. You're collecting that. That's giving you the extra materials that you need because the stuff you can do in the first aid area, like medical station, so you can make different kind of stuff. Like you can make red chems to boost your attack and damage resistance. This boosts your health. This boosts, and if you get the AMP, that boosts your movement speed and boosts your jumping height. And like there's so much you can do and research to unlock. And then there's the foods and the different cuisines and give different buffs like energy resistance, maximum weight capacity to carry things, damage reduction, speed, experience point beat. Like for example, if you eat growth pie, if you know what growth is, you have to learn by the game. Growth pie, it also gives you, I think, a 5% experience boost as well. So if I get the growth pie, which is 5%, and I get a tranquility, and I drink that, which is the 1%, that's a 6% increase in experience points. And if you go into the settings, which was part of the update, and add more survival difficulty factors to your game, like I need to eat and drink now to survive, I put up a maximum of 25.4, my English is gone, 24% experience buff. Add that with the 6 I got, 30% experience buff right out the gates. Oh, we level up now. They got amazing places like the Vulture Roost, which is filled with action, battle, taking on this annoying mercenary faction, and you're just like battling them all. It's not the Crimson Fleet, it's not the Spacers, no, and you find so much loot. You need a lot of cargo space, land there, battle, use your weapons. There's there's so much in Starfield that is crazy, and the different pieces that you attach to your ship and shipbuilding customization affects the interior design of the ship as well. Different shapes. I'll swap this hab out. I put in the computer station, completely different layout, and oh my gosh, I already talked about improvements that the game can make. The game is so massive, so there's always going to be room for improvement. Starfield has so much going on, and with the new updates, like obviously the creation mode and stuff like that, you got mods for consoles, mods for the PCs, and new things that go in there, give it NPCs new clothes and stuff, even affecting your characters themselves. There's an animation. I found a mod where it adds these level 100 mechs into the world, which can blast you with rocket spray machine guns, and they got shields, they're tanky, and they really bring the hurt. Like, it's just so many options now, so many ways to play, new structure, new this, new everything, and the vehicles are amazing. The Daymog is obviously the best, my favorite. I appreciate the Rev 8, but I upgraded to the Daymog. Daymog is my main one right now. Sorry y'all. Starfield is amazing. Don't listen to the haters. Don't think for yourself. It's just one of those games that's just, even today, like how big it is, more is going to be available. More is going to be able to come back. They have all the room. You're dealing with star systems and a universe. They can easily throw anything else in as an update. Oh, this new star system has just been erected up. It's here. In there is all new kinds of aliens, all kinds of stuff, new area, new habitation. They can just do whatever they want. Yes, Starfield is way better than Skyrim. It's better than Elder Scrolls. I don't care what anyone says. People say Skyrim is better. I don't think they're being very logical about it. I've beaten some people in debates about that. I was like, oh, Skyrim. I said, no, you can't compare many years of patches, fixes, bug fixes, expansions, DLCs added Skyrim, and then compare it to vanilla Starfield. That is just such a stupid comparison. Compare vanilla Starfield to vanilla Skyrim. You remember what vanilla Skyrim was like? It was bad. Vanilla Skyrim, no, it was bad. People tolerated it and liked it because that's like what they had at the time. But vanilla Skyrim, man, you ride a horse and you try to get up a hill, you look like an idiot. You couldn't get anywhere. Like the biggest enemy in Skyrim was not dragons or anything like that. The biggest enemy was a small incline and you riding a horse. You was not getting up there. Starfield, we got jetpacks. We just go right up. So imagine 5 years of updates and new things and DLC, the expansions in Starfield is gonna be way better than current Skyrim easy already. I think it's already better already, but you have to be fair with your comparisons. It's way better. Starfield's animations are better, graphics, weapons, options, mods. Forget it, man. People want to talk about mods. Yeah, when you can make every NPC look like Spider-Man or whatever, then yeah, you turn this NPC to be big booba vampire ladies, yeah, I'm sure your game's exciting then. Calm down, dude. But like, nah, not Skyrim, get him out of here. Starfield is just the best. It's amazing. I'm still playing it. I'm looking forward to what more's gonna do. Bethesda, it's your best work, and an amazing Xbox exclusive. I just realized, yeah, most of the games I got on this list are actually Xbox exclusives. Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, or the Will of Wisp at one point was, but I still look at that as, even though it's not, I know in Nintendo. Tetris Effect Connected, of course, and Starfield, amazing. Xbox is at the top, not surprised. And 2025, more amazing bangers are going to be coming out from Xbox. I'm looking forward to that, like things like Avowed. So yeah, guys, that's 7 of the best games ever made. And the other games I could talk about in an amazing light, but I'm going to leave it there as 7 right there. And those games, I played them all, beat them all, loved them all. And they're that amazing. And there's more I could say, but it's already like a 1 hour 30-minute video. It's longer than I wanted it to be. It's just amazing. And I've seen some of these games, you just have to understand more about what I meant by it. It's just so darn good. And yes, I never had any bug issues really with any of these games when I was playing on the Xbox. Like some people say, oh, Starfield, people fell through the floor or whatever like that. On the Xbox Series X, that's never happened. Never experienced any of that. Runs wonderfully, 60 frames, no issues. So, I don't know. Get a better device. Maybe get an Xbox. I don't know. Maybe then you wouldn't have that problem. But yeah. I'll leave right there, guys. Regardless of what's going on, make sure to do the Earthwalk. And I'll see you guys around.